Let's see. All right, I'm back. I'm back. Welcome back. It's been a little while since I've been on, but we got a lot going on. We got tensions. As we can see, this administration foreign policy doesn't look good. Their competence doesn't look well at all. The economy still in turmoil, and they said they was going to come and make things better, but what we've seen is they've made things worse, 100% worse. And what we're seeing is right now is Donald J. Trump has the country on the right track. Donald J. Trump had this country on the right track in ways that the mainstream media certainly isn't fixing to admit. That's for sure. Donald J. Trump had a lot of things going in the right direction. And I am hard pressed to get anyone out there. Well, let's be honest, they're not going to tell the truth. But let's be real. If Donald J. Trump was in office right now, a lot of the issues we face, a lot of the challenges we face wouldn't exist right now. Those just are the facts. Those are the facts. We was in the heart of the pandemic when Trump was president. We didn't have this type of inflation going on. We was in the heart of the pandemic when Trump was president. Gas prices wasn't this high. We was in the heart of the pandemic when Trump was president. His foreign policy wasn't falling apart like the current administration's foreign policy is falling apart. Sleepy Joe is asleep at the wheel. He has no idea what he's doing. His vice president is incompetent as hell as well. His vice president have no clue what she's doing. Period. Point blank, plain and simple. And we would love a Sleepy Joe to resign because he don't know what he's doing. But the problem is we got Kamala Harris as VP. And as bad as I hate to admit it, I much prefer Sleepy Joe than Kamala Harris. Yes, Ms. Garrett, let Donald J. Trump do his job. And he was doing a good damn job as well. Because I'm hard pressed to believe that, you know what? Actually, I do believe that if Donald J. Trump wasn't the president during the heart of the pandemic, there would barely even be a country left. He stepped up. He stepped up to the plate, surrounded by vultures who wouldn't help him when he needed them. Members of his own cabinet kind of threw him under the bus, didn't have his back. So when he comes back, and we need him back, and the image that you see of the Donald J. Trump with the bat signal, that's where we are right now. I made a comment on Facebook the other day that Sleepy Joe should hire Donald J. Trump as a special advisor. And I would understand if Donald J. Trump would want to do it. I personally wouldn't want to do it either. But I'm starting to believe, a lot of you all were right when you said, you know what, Kendall, we can't wait to 2024. The way Sleepy Joe's going right now, there won't be a country left. There won't be a country left if we stay on the trajectory that we are on right now. So you all are 100% right on that. Meaning that's why we got to take the midterms. We got to take the House. We got to take the Senate. We got to do all that. We got to do something to try to balance things. Because what we have going on now, and you know what I also believe as well? I'm starting to think, and perhaps, just perhaps, maybe Putin wasn't really trying to go all the way to Ukraine like he did. Just maybe it was the incompetence of the Biden administration. Maybe they just seen just how incompetent the Biden administration was. We seen them botch Afghanistan. I mean, you pull the military out before you get all the equipment out, get the civilians out. Really? Really? Come on now. And we talking about a guy who's been in government for over half century. And that's the best you can come up with? That's the best you can come up with? Come on now. Come on. This is what y'all say 80 plus million people voted for. This is what you all was voting for. This is the change you said we need. This is that we did it, Joe rhetoric. That's this BS right here. Empty grocery shelves, inflation, high gas prices, foreign policy in turmoil, war. That's what it is. All because you said that Trump tweeted me. Really? No. And this is what we all warn people. And then some people are having buyer's remorse, and rightfully so. Give a shout out to those that are admitting that they was wrong. when it comes to the Sleepy Joe administration. We know they shouldn't have done it. We know they was on the wrong side of history. But if they could at least admit that they was wrong, give them kudos for that. But now the ones that unfriended you, because I went through this as well. The ones that unfriended us because we had the audacity to think for ourselves, we had the audacity to vote for Donald J. Trump. We're not messing with them at all. Period. Point blank, plain and simple. We don't have anything to say to y'all. And people that like to, pretend like they're kind of neutral, but then they immediately fall back to the side of the Democrats. We don't mess them anymore either. We don't talk politics with them either. People like the Breakfast Club and things like that, where they want to pretend like they're trying to, push the Democrats for a black agenda, and then they just fall in line and vote for the Democratic Party. Nah, we ain't got time for that. You're right, Janet. The cost is now what's happening in Ukraine, and it's sad. It's sad. And I think it's because of incompetence, failure of leadership from the people that was elected to do a job that they just have shown that they are not up to doing. They've shown that they don't have strong leadership. And when Donald J. Trump was in office, we had strong leadership. And I think there's a level of respect there. Someone asked, Donald J. Trump a couple of days ago, what would you do if you was Joe Biden on the phone call, with Putin? And Donald J. Trump's answer was, it's kind of hard to answer that question because I wouldn't be in this position to start with. And as far as the phone call goes, Donald J. Trump said he didn't think that much was going to come from it. And at this point, he didn't think that Putin was going to listen to anything he had to say at this point anyway. Turns out, I hate to sound like a broken record, but it turns out, once again, Donald J. Trump was right. Once again, Donald J. Trump was right. That's what it shows. So one thing we know for sure, the trajectory we on now, we are 1 year into the Biden administration, the Sleepy Joe administration. Think about that. We got to get the House back. We got to get the Senate back. I hate to sound like a broken record. I know, if this was normal politics, we at least get one right now, and then the next election cycle. No, we need to get both right now. The stakes are just that much high. The stakes are too high. We see what's going on. Everyday Americans are being, they've had, this man has literally fired people from their jobs in the middle of a pandemic when they probably was already struggling to begin with. Said if you didn't take something that he wanted you to take, you would be fired. With his mandates, he fires you from your job. Imagine that. No. Not in the United States of America. Not when we have a constitution. Not when we have a democracy. Not when we are free people. You're threatening the rights of a free people. And when you threaten the rights of a free people, it's going to have political consequences. And it should have political consequences. So are we going to make sure that they face political consequences? Because this next election, I can tell you what I'm going to do. And I hope you'll join me. But I'm voting all red. All red. So that when Donald J. Trump does get back in the office and resume his strong leadership, he'll have a Congress already waiting on him. We know he'll deliver. We know he'll step up to the plate. But are we going to step up to the plate? Are we going to do what we're supposed to do? Are we going to do our part? That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about at this point. We got to do our part and deliver. So we got to take our Congress, both houses, and have them in waiting. Have them in waiting. Also to stop whatever failed policies that Joe Biden has moving forward. So that's what we got to do. We got to play defense and offense at the same time. Because Donald Trump can have his hands full anyway when he get back in office. Because the world is going to be against him. The fake media is going to be against him. The fake media is going to be against you and I as well. Let's just call it for what it is. The fake media will be against you and I as well. So he don't have time to be battling back and forth with a Congress that's not willing to work with him. So we got to do our parts and make sure he has a Congress to work with him. Donald J. Trump probably is already meeting with people that he's probably already talking to now that's going to be in his cabinet. So when he gets in the office, he can just go right then because he's, again, as great as he is, as great of a businessman he is, as great as his policies was and will be, still going to be a daunting task because he's coming behind a president that's probably the worst president in modern times. And that's not me engaging in hyperbole. Sleepy Joe is probably the worst president in modern times. I mean, look at the stuff that he has going on. Literally lost Afghanistan. You botched his other stuff where you said you was gonna solve the virus issue, and all he basically done was made it worse. You got empty grocery shelves. You got rising gas prices. You got rising inflation. And Trump said back in, I think, was it in September? Was it September when he said California's always the outlier, always the target price of gas prices, or what it can go throughout the country? And Trump said it's going to go a lot higher. It's going to go a lot higher. What have we seen? Gas prices has went a lot higher. Are they going to go up higher? Probably so. Is it going to get any better in the short term? Doesn't look like it. That's why we have to pray. Because you know what? This guy here doesn't know what he's doing. I mean, look at what we got going on here now. And I really do believe it's the failure of the Biden administration and his leadership. They wouldn't pull this stuff on when Trump was in office. You all know that. That's why you sent him up there. That's why we voted for him. Because we knew he would get the job done. We knew we was getting a good deal in return. Now, I'm not saying that I'm so smart that I always knew that, because in 2016, I didn't vote for Donald J. Trump. But in 2020, you can bet for damn sure he got my vote and my support. Look through my videos. Look into you. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I heard someone say that Donald J. Trump has put black people back 50 years. And I'm thinking, like, how can you say that when it was Donald J. Trump that was pardoning people that Sleepy Joe put in prison decades for nonviolent drug offense? The same guy you praise is the guy who didn't want his kids on the bus with your kids. He was even his vice president said that, you know what, that Sleepy Joe is a racist. Deborah, Trump is not a puppet. If he's a puppet, he'll still be in office. Trump is not a puppet. If he's a puppet, the fake media would love him. Or maybe you meant Joe Biden. Maybe you meant Sleepy Joe, because that's the real puppet, which is why they wanted him in office. Obviously, it's hard to believe that they want someone in office who doesn't look like he's fit to even be in office. Let's say you all wanted. Let's say the fake media wanted a Democrat in office. I know you and I didn't. We thought Trump was doing a great job, and he was. But that's who you had to pick. That's let you know that he is a puppet and a globalist. And we got to start making some changes. We need an army of critical thinkers. We need people to just. We can't continue to let the voices that don't know what they're talking about be the loudest. The people with the misinformation have the loudest voices. We have to change that. The people that are brainwashed has the loudest voices. We have to change that. We got to do better. We got to do better because we can't continue to lose ground. Each time we let them control the narrative, we lose ground. It's time for us to go on offense. It's time for us to start controlling the narrative. That's why you got people like me out here. That's why you got some of you all out here that's doing your part to control the narrative and push back against the injustices that we see, the attack on freedoms. It is up for people like you and I to push back in a respectable, responsible way. We know the importance of voting, but I also don't agree with the fact that people give their vote away for free. I also don't respect the fact that people vote against their own interests. If they aren't giving you something in return, you don't vote for them. I've always said that if they not give you something in return for your vote, you don't vote for them. And I can speak for this because this goes on a lot especially in my community, the black community, where we blindly vote Democrat because we don't. Some of us don't know no better, and I was once that person, Democrat, no matter what. And then but free thinkers don't always stay sleep alone. Free thinkers eventually start to realize, and that's what I did. And you have to give credit to fake media. The fact that I voted for Donald Trump, it was the fake media that brought me along. Because when I seen the fake media attacking Trump on a daily, I was like, hold up, everybody in the fake media is against President Trump. Everybody is. They all want him gone. Hmm. That's when I like, oh, okay. So he's fighting for us then. That's why they want him out. And I learned that from Malcolm X. Malcolm X said I tend to lean towards the person that the fake media is against. And the person that the fake media loves is the person is who I stray away from. Of course, I'm paraphrasing some because he didn't call them fake media. But Malcolm X, Donald J. Trump is the first person that called the media fake since Malcolm X. Malcolm X didn't necessarily use the word fake, but he called them manipulative, a stone cold calculating machine. And he was 100% right because the fake media is what had actually, if you could, the fake media is 100% is part of the blame for when it comes to brainwashing in this country. But they know how to make you feel good about something, as Brother Minister Malcolm would say, and they know how to make you feel bad about something. They're masters. Think about it. And think about things that go on all the time, and think about a bad story that some kind of way you missed, and you was like, hold up, why people didn't talk about this? Why don't we really feel sympathy or things for this? And you know why? It's because the media didn't put it out there didn't predict it in a way to get your sympathy. Yeah. They put the stories out there that they want you to feel happy about. They put the stories out there that they want you to feel sad about. This is what they do. You and I have to learn what you all got to start doing because some of us has already started doing it. You all got to learn to be able to read between the lines. You all got to learn to be able to figure out what the agenda that they're trying to push when you read a headline. Don't just read a headline and just take somebody's word for it. Not without digging and doing your research. No, 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 no. Don't ever do that. Stop. If you're doing that, stop doing that. And I know a lot of you all out there are doing that. Look at, what they're trying to push, what agenda they're trying to push. Look back and forth at it 2 or 3 times and try to figure out see what their motive is. And usually, if you do that, you can figure out what their motive is. It's key words that may stick out there. Matter of fact, I read a article one time, or it might have been a headline where it said assault rifle shot. An assault rifle was fired. And I'm thinking like, why didn't they just say a gun was fired? It's because they were trying to push a gun control agenda. Just that's just an example of a situation right there. When they just specify certain things, it's all about an agenda that they're trying to push. And we're in this society now where, well, Michael, you are actually on my thread, so thanks for helping the algorithm out. But anyway, yeah. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to push an agenda. They're trying to make you feel bad about something. And you see now they don't like people that are critical, independent thinkers. It pisses them off. Look at people like Michael. It pisses them off. The people that don't go, that doesn't go along with their false narrative or doesn't support their symbolism, because I could care less about symbolism. I care about results. I can care less about identity politics. I care about results. When I voted for the guy that was getting us results, and that guy Donald J. Trump, and look at what we got. Look at the results we have now. We're getting results, but they're not positive results. They're not healthy results. They're negative results that's not helping our country. That's what we have going on right now. That's what we have going on right now. And I hate to say I told you so, but I told you so. We all told you. We knew the Biden administration, you know what? I will say this. I have to admit to this. I knew the Biden administration would be bad. I didn't know it'd be this bad. Wow. I mean, this guy is putting up numbers, bad economic numbers that will put Herbert Hoover to shame. This guy has no clue what he's doing. The Democratic Party has literally botched, the economy. Look at the border. That's another thing too. Donald J. Trump mentioned this. They will not protect their own borders. We don't want to fight for our own, stand up for our own borders, but we'll go protect someone else's. It makes no sense. Makes no sense. And the thing is, a lot of, especially with Trump supporters, is we're talking about a lot of good, hard working people. And I know a lot of times Trump supporters get unfairly seen as racist. I'm a Trump supporter. But a lot of Trump supporters, you know what they are? Hardworking people that just want to be left alone. They just want to go to work and be left alone. That's it. Anyone out there also that's watching, make sure you share this video, like the video. Also subscribe to my YouTube channel as well. Because you know what? We're going to keep talking. We're going to keep bringing on these conversations, having these conversations. Because you know what? A lot's at stake. And right now, independent thinkers are scarce. We need people like you and I that's gonna speak the truth, that don't have an agenda, that are gonna stand in that truth, no matter what, be for truth, no matter who it's for. Stand for justice, no matter who it's for or against, like Brother Minister Malcolm said. Because you know what? And the same thing, then they want to, it just, and then, they want to, we're in a society where everybody's so-called racist. And one thing about me, when I see racism, I will speak up against it, and I always will. But I also will speak out when I see some BS going on, when I see some BS agenda going on, the race pimps with the fake media put out. They tried to do with the Kyle Rittenhouse case when we clearly knew that had nothing to do with race, but the media made it about race. The media made a white guy shooting 2 or 3 other white guys in self-defense racist. And that's when I realized these people are really trying to divide us. They're really trying to divide us. And that's another thing too. They want you to believe that everyone's racist or every single thing is racist. That's what it's all about, because they don't have any argument. They don't have anything else. So they want to play that game. I don't mind talking about racism. Joe Biden's one of the most racist presidents that ever ran for office in modern times. This man got people sitting up in prison doing 50 plus years of life for nonviolent drug offenses. Has he pardoned any one of them since he's been in prison? Not a single one. Donald J. Trump, who they claim so-called racist, was the one out there doing the work, pardoning people, returning people to their families, passed criminal justice reform, freeing over 7,000 people, 91% of them black. Donald J. Trump was the one doing that. The only thing that I wish Donald J. Trump would have done, and I talk about this all the time, I wish he would have pardoned someone every single day that Joe Biden put in prison, and do a press conference every single day. Now, he pardoned a lot of people, but I just wish that when Donald J. Trump, when Joe Biden tried to call Trump a racist, yeah, like, hold on, you don't get to do that, bro. You don't get to do that. Not with your record, your 94 crime bill. No, you don't get to do that. But you know what though? It's okay, because Trump's coming back, and Donald J. Trump's coming back is going to be as significant as what it was when Jordan came back to the Bulls. A Jordan comeback. I'm just saying. It's going to be like a Jordan comeback, because when Jordan came back, he came back to save basketball. Donald J. Trump is coming back to save the country. We need him more than ever. A lot of us want Trump back, but it's not at this point. It's not about wanting Donald J. Trump back. We need him back. That's where we are right now. Also, I want to say this: anyone out there watching, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. At this room at the bottom of the screen, Cash App is Send Forever. Anyone that wants to donate to the show as well. But Because you know what? We're growing. We're trending in the right direction because this here is something that we've never seen before. How do we come back from this? Because we can. How do we get our country back on track? Because we can. What is it going to take? It's going to take brilliant minds coming together. It's going to take thinkers coming together and being willing to stand up. It's going to take blacks, whites, regardless of race, gender, whatever you are, because the media tries to divide us up to weaken us because they know together how much stronger we are when it comes. Because you know what? Inflation doesn't have a race. It doesn't affect a certain. It doesn't. Doesn't discriminate on what people it hurts. Rising gas prices doesn't discriminate on who it hurts. Joe Biden's policies are bad for everybody across the country. And of course, I mean, we got some. We got rich, poor, middle class. We have all of those type things. One can argue that it's not even the middle class anymore due to Joe Biden. One can make that argument for sure. But you know what? It starts with us. Look at what they did with the virus. They made people go against each other when none of us had anything to do with that. Brenda Garwood, thanks again for adding to the algorithm. Brenda Garwood says it's gonna take Brenda Goodell says it's gonna take getting idiots like you off social media. Free speech, huh? Guess what, Brenda? Thanks for adding to the algorithm as well. And tell me what I said wrong. Deal with the argument. So they don't want to deal with the facts or the truth. Last time I checked, you were on my platform again, but hey, I appreciate you here. Thanks for adding to the algorithm. You can share it too as well, by the way, because you know what? I take, anyone's welcome. Speak whatever you want to speak. We're going to continuously speak the truth. I don't care about your symbolism. We don't care about your identity politics. It doesn't work anymore. Your symbolism and identity politics does not work anymore. The people are waking up. People are standing for something. People are asking, what are they getting in return for their vote? No one asks you to go into a store and give your money and not come out with any product. Why do you continuously ask the American people to go to the ballot box and cash in what you say is the most important thing or the most civic duty, and they get nothing in return for it? Yeah, exactly. They get nothing in return for it. You know what? It's because you don't want us to get anything in return for it. Brenda Goodell, guess what? We're not getting it. I mean, Sleepy Joe has done what? Answer that question. What policy did he have in place that you like? I'll wait. Here's the thing too, as well. We don't tell anyone who to vote for. We don't criticize anyone for their choice. This is a free country. This is the democracy. You have the right to vote for who you want to vote for. That is a fact. You have a right to vote for who you want to vote for. There's nothing wrong with that. I just disagree. I don't think you're on the right. We don't think you're on the right side of history, but that is your right. Are you any less of a person? No. Do I want you off of social media because I don't agree with your politics? No, that's crazy. That's insane. Because then where does that stop? Where does that stop? It doesn't. You know what? But you know what we got to do? We got to continuously to push forward. Because you know what? We still won. I might not agree with what you have to say, but I don't think you should be silenced or off social media. No, I deal with the argument. I tell you where you're wrong at. That's what we do. But we're getting away from that. And the further we get away from that, the more of a threat that we have to democracy. That's what happens when that happens. That's more of a set. That's more of a threat to democracy when we get to that point. That's more. But you know what, though? They don't want to deal with that argument. They don't want to have that argument. Also, the minute you're willing to violate someone else's right, you realize that your rights could be next, right? The more you the more you get away from the Constitution of someone else, the more you violate someone else's civil liberties. Don't be so sure that yours can't be next, because it can be. Come on now. I'm just saying. When are we gonna realize that? We're gonna realize that if you're willing to let someone else's rights be violated, yours could be next. People that I disagree with, you think I want their rights violated? No, because then I can easily be next. Why am I above that? Who am? How am I perfect to think that if they do this to this person, they won't come back and do it to me? Yeah. Same thing with Chris Cuomo. No matter how much fake news you pump out, they'll still toss your ass the first chance they get. And what did they do to him? Now, am I glad that he got tossed? For sure. Because Chris Cuomo getting fired was a win for the American people. A win against the fake narrative that's pushing this country. Yeah. It is not. And people say, if it was your brother, would you defend him as well? It's not about that. Never said I would. But what I do say is this. If it had been anybody else doing what Chris Cuomo did, he'd have been ridiculing them, launching a full investigation. That's what a problem comes in at. Trying to act like he's all high and mighty. That's what a problem comes in at. That is the difference. That is the difference. Yes, Jimmy, Trump, 2024. Donald J. Trump, 2024. They don't want to hear the truth, though. They don't want to face the fact that we had the better economy when Trump was president. They don't want to face the fact that foreign policy was better when Trump was president. No wars. No wars. What's so bad about that? I like no wars. You all like no wars? You all like, people, not sending our kids, our people to a war? I like it. Yeah. Something to celebrate. Something to be happy about, for sure. That was a lot to be happy about. But you know what, though? But it's a lot to be happy about when it comes to Trump's record. I'm Kevin Sullivan, and I'm going to leave it there. Have a great night, guys. Peace. And I'm out. Make sure you share the video. Subscribe to the YouTube channel as well.